Okay. Okay, so now that we have the nav bar working, we can now move on to the next part, of which I'm trying to say that the next part is basically creating the thing that is going to be working through the body, or we are going to be seeing through the body. So obviously we are going to have to start with the sidebar. So this side at least should take the sidebar, then the middle part should take the news feed, okay, and then this side is basically going to take the right bar. Okay, so now that we can see all these arrangements, our main goal here in general is to make sure that we are creating a layout whereby we can place these things as sidebar, news feed, and also right bar. Okay, so now that we know this, let us get right into it. So I'm going to go back into my VS Code, right, and then I'm going to create these components, right. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to come here and then create a new folder, and I'm going to say what, sidebar. Then inside the sidebar I am going to say sidebar.jsx. okay, then now that I have that, also I am going to go back into the components and create a new folder that is what name am I going to give that? So I'm going to say news feed. Okay, so news feed, and then inside the news feed I am going to say what, newsfeed.gsx. okay, newsfeed.gsx. And then what else over here too, I can create another one and say what, right bar. Okay, now just in case you find it annoying recreating like that, here's what we can do, but it's a little bit of a long process, but I mean, once you're able to navigate through, I think you should be fine. So what we can do is, you see right now we're in the client folder, right, client, right. So what I can, if you're in Windows, it wouldn't take you to the clients directly, so you're going to have to cd into the client, right. So now that we are in the client already, what we are going to do is you're going to go into the part of the folder where we are going to be creating the new folders, right. So what you're going to do is I can cd, and then let's say you don't know what, you can't see what is inside, you can use ls to list all of them, and then you can just cd into any of them. So I would cd into what, src, right. Let's say src is too long, I can't type it, I can just press s and then press tab, and then it should complete it for me, and I press enter. So once I'm inside the src, I'm going to cd into the components. Okay, then I'm going to then inside the components I can just make dir, right. I can make directory and say something like feed, right. Then it should create that folder for us, and then I can cd into the feed, and then I can touch, you know, I can touch feed. So I can touch what, feed.gsx. okay, and then it should create that for us inside the feed, right. Okay, so now that we know this, we can move on. This is just a quick trick for you to note or know about, right. Okay, so I think I can close this. Okay, but we don't need this right now. So what we are going to do is, at the sidebar, the news feed, okay, I need to create the right bar component. So I can say right bar dot gsx, actually dot gsx. Okay, now that we have news feeds, right bar and sidebar, let us create the components inside them individually. So I'm going to say rafce, enter, and then it creates that, and then I come here and say rafce, enter, and I have rafce, enter as well. Alright, so now that it works as we expect it to, what do we do next? We would go into our home really quickly. We are going to go into the home, and the home is inside the pages. Okay, so the home page is what we have here, and then what we can do is let's say we don't know what we are doing, right. I'm just going to import them. So I can say sidebar, here, right, and then import. Error. Let me try something. Let me try importing the next one and see if I'll still get the error, right. So I'm importing another one, and I'm going to make that news feed. Wait, what is going on? I'm going to import the last one. Maybe it should work, right? I mean, that's what you say. I mean, the mindset of someone who is new to this. Let me import a new one. So I would say what, the next one is what, right bar, right. But still there's an error. Okay, so what would you have done? you would have gone to Google the problem, right? But hey, I'm presenting a solution right here. I mean, that's why you're in the channel, to get solutions to your problems and also learn faster, right? Okay, so let's learn how to fix this. So what we are going to do is, inside React, you can't just align the components like that inside the return statement. So what you can do is you can put them in a fragment. Okay, so you have the fragment, and then what you can do is I can just place the cursor here. So this is a really nice trick, right? You can place the cursor here, and then you can hold alt and then bring them down. Okay, so let me reverse it. So you just have the cursor here, right? And then you hold alt and then bring it down. Then that's it. It should work how you expect it to. Then now if I scroll down, you should see that everything should be working as we expect it to. So yeah, it works fine. Okay, so if we go inside our browser to go and see, you can see the sidebar, the news feed, and the right bar, right? So how do we, so I said that our main point is to make sure that we are arranging them like this and having their spaces, right? So what I can do is we can give we can put all of these three things in a div and then make it a display flex so that they come together in a row. Okay, so what we can do is I can just create it like a quick div. Okay, I can just create a quick div, or even since we're using emit, I can just say flex. Okay, then it gives it a class name here, and then over here I can do the same thing, right? Okay, so the alt, and then I just use the arrow, the down arrow, and then I bring it down. You see, hold alt, so hold alt, up arrow, it takes it up, hold alt, down arrow brings it down. Hopefully you remember how to do it. Okay, so now that we have them here, if we open the browser, you should see them being arranged. Okay, now they are arranged. Now how do we arrange them in here? There are a number of ways. You can use percentages, and I think you can use CSS grid. I've not tried it though, but I mean, you can try. You can use, I think you should be able to use CSS grid. But yeah, here's what we are going to do. We are going to use our flexbox as usual. So inside the sidebar, I'm going to go inside the sidebar, and then I am going to say that I'm going to create like a class name. Okay, for Tailwind, it doesn't have it like straightforward for us to implement it. So what we can do is you can add like a style prop, and then inside the style prop add another curly braces. Then we can say flex, right? Then we can say, so we are going to give it a, so basically we are going to give it a flex of 3. Okay, can give it a flex of 3. Okay, flex of 3. Then we can go into the newsfeed and then give it a flex of 5. Okay, so style prop, and then give it a flex of 5. Okay, flex of 5. And then inside the sidebar, okay, we've done that. Right bar, we've not done right bar. So for the right bar, we can give it a flex, a style prop, okay, and then a flex of 4. Okay, so what happens is when I save, Prettier just tries to format it in a nice way. I just undo it, so there's nothing really wrong or magical going on here. So yeah, so style 4, and then so let's just go and look at how it has been arranged. So yes, as you can see, it has been arranged nicely. Okay, nicely. We could also try to increase the size of this. Should we do that? Should we do that? But increasing, flex box, arranging them with this method, it should be simple. It's just you assigning the values and just making sure that, so let's say we want to reduce the value, or let's say we want to increase the value of the news feed, right? So that the right bar goes here a bit. What we can do is we can just, so the right bar, for instance, we can reduce the size to like 3.5, and then for the news feed too, we can increase the size like 5.5, right? And then go and check, and then you should see it shift to the right like that, right? So yeah, I mean, if we add the borders, you should be able to see them. Let me see, let's add borders and see. So class name, border, or let's give them their BGs, right? So BG, let's say BG red, and like give it like some 600. Then let's give this one another class name. I'm gonna copy this. this to, oh, I mean I could have just put it there, right? Yeah, so I'll just give this like green. Wait, did I give the other one the same color? I think I changed it. Oh, oh damn, that was so unconscious. So I'll give this like blue or something. Okay, so blue, and then I'll go here, and then you should see them being arranged as you expect them to. So the rest of them we just handle as we keep going. Okay, so I'm just going to undo all these things, bring them back to normal. I just wanted you to see how they work in general, and yeah. Okay, now let's move on to the next thing.